SK Vibemaker.
SK Vibemaker. My interviews are hotter. You know we bring through the best special guests. We ain't changing tradition anytime soon. Today we got St Andrews, Kingston, Jamaica. Babycham, aka Cham, is in the building. What's happening, man?
I'm here. Can you hear me? Good.
Cheese, it's good to have you back in the UK. How you feeling?
Yo, I'm sitting on top of the world. Sitting on top of the world.
That's good to hear,
Yeah,
man.
bro.
I mean, obviously fresh from Carnival, performing a few places out there, right?
Yo, Carnival was fire. You're talking about, that looked to me like 4 million people. That wasn't 2 million that they're used to. I think because of the 2-year break,
Exactly.
everyone was out. Everyone.
I mean, it was good and bad about, like, obviously 2 years off. You know, when I have 2 years away from Notting Hill Carnival, a lot of people there, but it was sardines.
Yeah.
If you was in the streets following the floats, I mean, it was crazy.
Yo, for us to get around.
That's when you wish you could just teleport, innit?
Yo, I was talking about drones. Like, those body pack drones. We could do bang, bang.
Just fly
from
up and
stage
down.
to stage, you know what I mean?
From all of those years being at Carnival, I mean, do you remember the first time you performed at Notting Hill Carnival?
I think the first time we performed there was probably the year of Ghetto Story. Probably 2006, 2007.
Straight.
That was my first time. Yeah. But this time was crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Because that time around, I probably did one stage. This time I was carnivaling. Hopping from stage to stage and greeting people in the crowd and taking photos on the run. You know what I mean? And the crowd was crazy. You can see that everyone kind of missed being out. And they were hungry for music. You can see that naturally.
So you are like 20 years plus deep in this music thing. You are considered a reggae dancehall veteran and legend. You have got your footprint in this culture. To anybody who is discovering you today, how would you kind of break down the Cham story so far?
This a survival story. This a true ghetto story. This is my story. This a real ghetto story. Hey, that sums it up.
Do you feel like it has been ghetto then?
It has been core, hardcore. You know what I mean? And also hardcore mean we never ever try to go away from our roots, too far from our roots. We keep it dancehall and we keep it in the trenches. And we always keep it a little bit gully, but with wings, you know what I mean? Wings that can fly.
See, I like that you say that because I feel like that can be the gift and the curse. Like keeping it core, you keep to your roots, you keep the core audience happy. But at the same time, a lot of artists want to expand.
Yeah.
When you expand and you go outside of the realms and experiment maybe a bit too much, you get criticism.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's pros and cons to both sides.
Yeah.
Was there many powers and energies trying to drag you to diversify and maybe water down your sound much over the years?
We hit Billboard #1 with This Is Why I'm At.
Yeah.
And if you listen that verse, it wasn't watered down. I got my clique to the rear of me. Punks live in fear of me. Dudes on the block with them running scared of me. I keep that thing near to me. Don't just appear to me.
Yeah.
Never touch my money. No, my money's dear to me. I'm in the club balling in the VIP booth. This is why I'm hot. You know it is the truth. You understand? So I believe that you can keep your core and keep it hardcore and keep authentic to your culture and your music. But it's how you deliver it, you know what I mean? Yeah, you have to just believe in your craft and believe in what you bring to the table and your team. And 7 different brothers, 7 different minds. If you wish to water down your thing, at the end of the day, you're trying to feed your family and trying to get where you want to get. I don't know where you want to get. I know what I wanted, you know what I mean? And we do what we do in the studio to get where we want to go.
So you're saying for you, it's pretty simple. I'm doing this. I'm not switching it up too much.
No.
I'm keeping it to the core.
Yeah.
And they can't have me on these pop songs like this.
All right. So songs, Ghetto Story has become a pop song.
It's become popular.
Popular.
Yeah, but you
know
didn't
what I mean?
compromise.
No, we didn't compromise to get a story there. Thanks to Alicia, the great Alicia Keys.
Yeah.
She took us through some major doors.
But she came after and it was already way down the road.
Way. You get what I'm saying? But when she jumped on it now, it started, boom, through a couple of the pop station doors. You know what I mean? But even her verses was hardcore. You get what I'm saying? It wasn't watered down. This Is Why I'm At. The only difference, I was DJing in English. We had DJ, so the world could understand. So you know when these opportunities come, you try to let the world understand everything that you're saying. Just like Tables Turn. You have to give it up to Foxy Brown before anyone else believed she believed. You know what I mean?
Early.
Yeah. Tell them a woman we are defend. Love to see the shorties in a Benz or a BM. Breaker, breaker, call the undertaker. Fools will be dying. That's hardcore, but in English. Just like Bob Marley. He was singing about the struggles, oppressed, the voiceless. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our mind.
For sure.
Have no fear for atomic energy. Cause none of them can stop the time. But check it. English. Bob wasn't stupid. He knew he wanted the whole world to understand him. That way his message could go further.
Like you said, 75 different ways, 75 different minds is
Yes.
what you said. So do you feel like there is a core, or that there is a lot of dancehall artists that could do that a bit more then? They could kind of think about the delivery and for a wider audience, not necessarily watering down, but that's maybe like a trick that they're missing.
It's always a trick that's been missing. And the few that figured it out got world songs. You know what I mean? And I think it's just studying. If you study, I came up with the idea of starting to flip with English and play with more English instead of just patois alone. I had a song by the name of Man and Man, big, 2000. Me and them no groans, man. So me have fi frowns, man. Biggest song in dancehall. We went to do a major, I think it was Hot 97 Summer Jam. And after doing Hot 97 Summer Jam 2000, the year 2000, a kid came up to me and was like that, man, that's my song. I don't know everything that you're saying, but when I'm in my car, it's just man. I said, then, if he could understand what Man and Man is saying, if he's going crazy over Man and Man, what would he do with himself if he understood? Like real dancehall heads who understood that we're going crazy when Man and Man play. Every gun fingers in the air. You know what I mean? When Babylon Boy drop, it's done.
Straight up.
So that's when I got back. I got back from that tour, and I went to Dave Kelly, who is the producer, and I said, you know what? We need to start say some things where people can get me no matter where you are. And that's why after that, when Foxy Brown thing came to the table, the opportunity came. I was like, you know what? Tell them a woman we are defend. Love to see the shorties in a Benz or a BM. Jimmy's a rebel. Says she's stressed. Some may give her some SEX, the whole crowd. No matter where in the world you go, everyone sings that.
Those songs live long,
Girl, I
man.
still out my home and I blow up my phone cause she want the vitamin S. We didn't compromise. All we did was just figure out ways how to say things that people can understand. That's it. Never compromise.
Fiesta rhythm still very strong.
Yo, yesterday in the carnival, Notting Hill Carnival, Fiesta rhythm destroyed that whole 4 million people.
Like what, nearly 20 years going strong.
Fiesta came out 20 years. 20 years, B.
Crazy.
And I was doing songs from 1996, from when I was a boy. We did Joyride yesterday. And Joyride is probably the only song that I was forced to pull up. As soon as they heard that roll,
crazy.
Problem. And
Classic rhythms, man. Those rhythms back in the day, they had a lot of pieces on them.
King, believe me. And that tells you, when you make music, you must try and make music that has no expiration date. And that's something that I've learned from Dave Kelly over the years. He's always stressing on quality over quantity. I took a while to buy into it because as a kid, you're coming out of high school, I'm 15 years old. I want to say everything. I want to have a song every week. And he's like, nope. Is it better than the one from last week? Until you get it better than the one from last week, we're not releasing this one. Like,
quality over quantity.
Quality over quantity. Very important.
Ghetto Story, still going strong. I mean, a big song in reggae dancehall music. And when you have songs like that, they cross boundaries, barriers, they live very long. What would you say that song done for your career, man?
Ghetto Story, I've done everything for my career. Every single thing. You're talking about a song that no matter where you go on the planet, someone will be able to say rah. You know what I mean? We were in a party the other night And these are kids that I like watching their series. You're talking about the Top Boys, Snowfall, the actor from Ghetto. And they were saying, Mr. Mikey, straight up. And I said, what? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So when you can do songs that can stand the test of time, we were in the carnival, and you have teenagers, 16, 17, 15, saying rap. How did you know this song? You know what I mean? And that tells you how powerful these music.
On the song, like a lot of people might know who you're referring to, but you're talking about Mikey. Mr. Mikey.
Mr. Mikey.
Tell him who Mikey is.
Mikey's a friend of mine. A friend of mine from Sherlock Crescent. He went away. He got visa early. Went away when we were teenagers. And he used to look out for us. You know what I mean? So when I was writing Ghetto Story, that's how we were like, you know what, we were in our time of desperation and we needed help. Mr. Mikey, we get the thing them. Them out a lot now.
Straight up. Big up Mikey.
Yeah. Always.
So let's talk about the relationship that you have with Dave Kelly. I mean, he is a legendary producer. I mean, just music. Let's not just say reggae music. A legendary producer. I mean, his footprint, his legacy. If you do the research, you will see a lot of it if you don't know already. He has executively produced, I think, all of your albums.
All of my albums.
And been a very much big part of your career.
Been everything.
We spoke about it before, but for today, let's talk about it again, man. The beginnings of your relationship with Dave Kelly. Where did it start, and how would you talk about his role in your career?
The relationship started when I went and I kind of looked up Dave Kelly. I was buying 7 inches. We used to play a sound called Super Tremor as kids, 12-year-olds, 13-year-old. And we used to save our lunch money to go and buy 7 inches. At the time, Buju Banton was the biggest thing in Jamaica. Every Buju Banton record we would purchase would have one name on it, produced by Dave Kelly. And I was like, if I'm going to get in the music, this is the person that I would like to produce my music, you know what I mean? Because the beats were fire, the delivery was fire, the mixes were fire, you know what I mean? And we started him out, went to Penthouse Records at the time. He was at Penthouse Records before he moved on and got his own studio, Madhouse. And we did an audition for him. After the audition, he said, you know what, you can work on your breathing technique and work on delivering more from your diaphragm. But I like what's there. I like the creativity. But I couldn't record you right now because you're still attending school. Link me back 3 years from now with proof of graduation. If you have the talent same way, I'll give you a shot. I went back to him 3 years after with proof of graduation and a #1 song in Jamaica. That was The Mass.
Dope.
Boom. From we did the first record, boom. The chemistry clicked. He became like my bigger brother. He started guiding me. And you're talking about a producer who guided the biggest names in dancehall. Terror Fabulous, Buju Banton, Tony Rebel, Garnet Silk, Louis Culture, Nadine Sutherland.
Jeez.
You know Crazy. What I mean? This is not a normal producer we are talking about. So when you get a chance to be in that school, in that stable, I think that was the best move for me.
I feel like people don't talk about Garnet Silk enough, man, but one of my favorites, man.
Dangerous.
You know what I'm saying?
Next level.
If you don't know about Garnet Silk and you are listening to this interview today, go and check out Garnet Silk and you can at us afterwards. Yes. You'll be very happy.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, Reggae Dancehall isn't so much built off of albums, and you have been very selective in your output over the years. A lot of Reggae Dancehall artists, they will release like 50 songs a year.
Yeah, or 100.
You know what I'm saying? And for you to be like the opposite of that is an almost oxymoron. And you kind of spoke about Dave Kelly kind of advising you that if the song isn't as good as the last one or you're not coming with something new, don't put it out.
Yeah.
How did you really stay with that kind of formula? Because a lot of musicians nowadays, even just outside of Reggae Dancehall, are scared to be irrelevant.
Yeah.
They release so much music to be relevant, the streams and all that kind of stuff. How did you maintain that stance?
I think just believing in quality over quantity. And then when you see the proof, what it has done for your career, if you're at one of my concerts, it goes from stairs to stairs. Every song, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. until it just explode at the end. You know what I mean? And when you have that concept, you can't go wrong. You know what I mean? The concept is an artist is supposed to be, an artist is as good as his last album or his last single. And when you take that for what it is, then you realize how important that is. So that can keep you relevant. You might not know the face. You might probably never heard the name. But as soon as we say, this is a survival story, you're going to know the name right there and then.
Straight up.
And you're not going to forget the face after that. You're going to go and do your research because that's one of your favorite. As soon as they hear, this is why we hit, this is why I'm hot, and realize, oh, that's the same person. I need to check out more of his music. Then you realize, okay, the Wind Up My Bodies, the Turn Up, all of these records, the Vitamin S, the Another Levels, you know what I mean? The Bug, the Showtime. You have so many people that use Showtime. You know what I mean?
Damn. Showtime with him.
Give them the dance, bust the dance.
Can I get her?
All right.
I think I'm one of the only few people that had a nice clean edit of that I could play on radio. How about that?
How about that? That mean you're not normal. You're not normal.
You hear me? SK Vibemaker. My interviews are hotter. We are steaming. We're blazing. Cham's in the building.
Almost 2 years, you know, we under lockdown. No party, we can't go. Police are cracked down. Bang, bang, bang.
Wowza. You linking up with Usain Bolt. You know what I'm saying? Talk to us about, you know, not just because you're in the same country, you know, you're both from Jamaica, that you're necessarily going to connect.
Yeah.
But how did you guys connect and do this, man?
Well, we connected before Usain was a star. You know what I mean? We connected from, he was in high school. This dude by the name of Busy, older dude, took him to my tent at a reggae sunfest. And I was telling him that I was a fan of his because I follow up track and field. So I went to the high school championship in Jamaica. It's called Boys and Girls Championship. And I really liked him from then. So when he came to get introduced to me as a fan, I'm saying, no, but I'm a fan of you. You know what I mean? And from then, we have always been cool. But nothing, never ever seen each other and pass each other. So been cool till he got huge from the Olympic success. And we kept that link, always have some, whenever I'm in Jamaica, we always find somewhere to go, whether the club, beach, just hang out. And one morning they reached out and said they had a beat and they would love if we could do something. And when, as a person, you talk about a goat, because you have different goats. This is a goat.
The greatest.
All right, believe that. When he reaches out and said he needs your support on anything musical, you're going to want to give him something that's special. And that's how we did Lockdown together.
The last few years has seen the rise in Afrobeats. Many people have, and it's been a great thing. Let me just say that. I love Afrobeats. A lot of people love Afrobeats. It's been a great thing. But just how the music industry is, maybe sometimes it has an effect on other sounds and other genres. People may be thinking that they've got to pick a side. How do you feel like the Afrobeats, the rise in Afrobeats over the last few years in its honeymoon stage has affected reggae dancehall?
I think it have to affect reggae and dancehall in a positive way, because Afrobeat is a branch of reggae and dancehall. You know what I mean? What it has shown us that if you buy into the concept of unity and angling your business the right way, I notice all these African artists, they're basically unified, even if they're not friends. You see them on tours together. So that tells you reggae artists need to tour together more. Dancehall artists need to tour together more. We need to angle our business a little bit better. We need to be more united than anything else. You know what I mean? And I think that's what it has done. In my part, and on my view, that's the only thing that I see from it. Nothing negative at all.
There is space for Afrobeats and reggae dancehall to live together, co-inhabit side by side.
Yep.
But some people feel like it's a pick a side thing. And maybe naturally, if you are maybe more into a particular sound, you might maybe push aside what you were listening to before. So some people have argued that maybe the rise in Afrobeats has maybe put reggae and reggae dancehall in the shadows a bit. Do you feel like there's any part of that that's happened?
If they think it's put it in the shadow, that's their belief. You know what I mean? To me, all we need is one sound. reggae not going anywhere. It has been here from day one. If you look at the top of the chart right now, I'm sure Bob Marley is there. For sure. You know what I mean? Reggae and dancehall not going anywhere for now. It's going to be here. It's just we have to figure it out.
Straight.
And if you have quality over quantity, I'm sure we'll hit them. You know what I mean?
SK Vibemaker. My interviews are hotter. Cham's in the building.
Can you hear me now? Good.
We can hear you clearly.
Okay.
So let's talk about Lawless Records.
Yes.
This is your own label, your own imprint.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You've done a lot of stuff with Dave Kelly,
Yeah.
Red House Records. Talk to us about your label.
So Lawless is basically not allowing anyone to box us in. You know what I mean? We decide our own destiny. It's not about grabbing bags or purses or sticking up a bank. We're deciding our own destiny.
Straight.
You know what I mean?
I mean, because they might think that from the title of
yes,
obviously
just from the
label.
title. You know what I mean? So get that straight. We are out here and we are in charge of our own destiny, doing what we think is best for us and our family. You know what I mean? In terms of the record label, whatever Dave Kelly and Madhouse thinks that, okay, this is too harsh for Madhouse, it filters to Lawless.
Okay.
Because nothing can box Lawless in.
Now you and Spice, what a chemistry.
Yeah.
I mean, can we expect any more new music from you guys? anytime
Myself
soon?
and Spice, we were the one that basically brought Spice to the scene. Spice's first record was on Ghetto Story Beat. Spice is like a little sister of mine. We have always said that we wanted to do something. It just wasn't right. And you never force things. You let it happen. Just naturally. Because music is like that. It's like the water. You have to let it do what it do. You know what I mean?
You still communicate a lot?
Almost every 2 weeks. We send each other a text. That's my sister. You know what I mean? If she needs something, she knows she can pick up the phone. Both of us are doing what we do, which is on the grind non-stop. But we always find time to say, well, go on. Everything up, you know what I mean? Yeah, but that's my sister, Gracie. She know what times it is.
Now, what I'm going to ask you now, we could open up a massive conversation with this talking point here. Your favorite era in reggae dancehall, man. Let's try and keep it like as concise.
Easy.
And which part of the 90s?
I would say 90s. I would say all of the 90s. Because that's how I got. That's what made me want to do it. So from 91 to 95, the Bojo, Beanie, Bounty, a little bit of Shabba. That made me wanted to go in the studio and become a musician, you know what I mean? Become a dancehall artist. Then we got in the game, 95, the first song. Fire burn for the man them out there when I stop run pedophile joke. Girl from your band, you know walk with no mouly arm. Then 96 gave you how many girl get slam through money? Many. 96 again, taking a ride. Hey, ride. Joyride. But reason why the 90s, I think, will be able to dominate any other era. Because of the producers that the 90s had. They weren't normal producers. All these producers were top engineers before they became producers.
Pioneers, man.
Sly and Robbie, Steely and Clevie, Tony Kelly, the Don himself, Dave Kelly. You know what I mean?
Oh, geez, man.
Bobby Digital. You look at even Sizzla, Kalonji career. Who made the biggest albums with Sizzla? Bobby Digital.
Crazy.
You know what I mean? The 90s had producers that are legends. You have producers now that have the potential to become legends, but can they remain consistent enough?
Time will
can
tell.
they remain hungry enough? You know what I'm saying? Because after a while, you started hitting these charts and making these so much money. Will you be as hungry as before? That's the difference. The 90s, you can't go around it. And that's to be said about every genre.
Of course.
Hip-hop, R&B. 90s just have a special flavor, a special sprinkle. You know what I mean?
I'm about to ask you a question that I feel like you might answer very differently every week, every month. But I want you to answer this question knee-jerk, whatever comes to your heart or your mind today. The top 3 reggae dancehall artists that had the biggest impact and are the most important to you?
Bojo Banton, Bounty Killer, Major Worries.
Jeez.
And a lot of people might not know Major Worries, but without Major Worries, you wouldn't have a Shabba Ranks. Without Major Worries, you wouldn't have a Buju Banton. And you probably wouldn't have a Bounty Killer. You probably wouldn't have a Babycham.
Crazy.
Probably you'd have the same individuals, but different sound. Because Shabba took the sound from Major. Buju took the sound from Shabba. Bounty took the sound from Buju. I took the sound from Buju, Shabba, Bounty, Major.
Crazy. Now I'm going to call this song, I'm going to give it a clean edit. Blood. The new song that you got with Bounty Killer.
Yeah.
That's what we're calling it for clean purposes. Do you know what I'm saying?
And I call it Song for the People.
Song for the people. We could call it either or. You know what I mean? So talk to me about reconnecting with Bounty Killer and putting together this project right here, because you got a long history. So
the whole project came about, the idea was Dave Kelly's. Timebomb. The idea was Dave Kelly's idea to do an EP with myself and Bounty Killer. And he had that idea before the pandemic. Right as we were about to go away to get in the studio together, then the pandemic hit. So he had to put it off. So as soon as the world kind of opened up a bit, he said, you know what, it's time, let's go back in the studio. So we went away. We went to the Bahamas with Killer for 1 month. 1 month, and we just write, vibe, music, food, chill. You know what I mean? The water, boat, whatever we had to do.
That's where you recorded the whole project?
Not the whole project. So we're like probably 50% in the Bahamas.
Inspired you?
50%, yeah.
All right, let's get down to it, man. The lead song of the project, Blood, Song for the People.
Yeah.
I mean, the dirty version, you know, we're talking about BC.
BC.
Yeah.
Song for the People.
Yeah.
You know, when I goal score, I say, Blood!
I mean, you could have so many different responses when you say that word.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So, I know what it means. I've got a Jamaican family. Of course, you're using the word. You know what it means. You use it regular. How would you break it down in a politically correct way, what that word means, the definition? So
I think you can't get more Jamaican than blood.
BC.
AKA BC.
Bloodclart.
Yeah, if you really think about it, Bloodclart, seeing, is used for every single emotion.
Happiness, sadness,
anger, frustration, joy, everything. The slaves used to use it, and that's where we got it from. But because the slave masters didn't like it, they banned it. And then, coming out of slavery, the puppets banned it also, because they were the so-called aristocrats, you know what I mean? But think about it, it's Jamaican. And you can't get that out of Jamaican roots and Jamaican culture. And sooner or later, they will have to leave it and let it go and decriminalize it.
It's the way you use the word, though. Would you use Bloodclart in front of your pastor?
Right now, yes, for sure.
You would?
Yeah, man. Because the pastor can't tell me nothing. Him use Bloodclart. If him a Jamaican, he must use Bloodclart.
Would you say Bloodclart in front of your children?
For sure. They listen to music every day. I tell my children there's no Jamaican bad word. If these are the words that the slaves used to use to rile up themselves to get us out of slavery so we could live or we live now, why can't we use it?
Would you say Bloodclart or Bomberclart in front of your mother or your father?
I was just talking to my mom the other day about it. Yeah, man. It's how you use it. If my mom see me watching the game and Salah misses a chance, it's natural it's going to come out. Bloodclart, Salah. What that? Oh, you have to miss the chance. It's not used as a disrespectful word or a disrespectful manner, in a disrespectful manner. It's just your emotion.
But I'm sure you wouldn't say to your pastor, you're like a Bloodclart, yo.
No, it's how you use it. If the pastor ever say, yo, the sermon of the Bloodclart, man, he's not going to feel any way about it. You know what I mean? Because you love the ceremony. You have to somebody love the ceremony.
Straight.
It's how you use it. And because they created this stigma of saying that the word is criminalized. If they didn't do that, we will use that word just as how it is everywhere, because you use it everywhere else. And the pastor can't tell me nothing. The Prime Minister can't tell me he doesn't use it. You know what I mean?
Crazy.
You can't go around it. When people meet you out in the world, it's the first thing they say.
And a lot of
So
different
Bloodclart
cultures.
is Jamaica.
A lot of different cultures use the word as well.
Same way.
And sometimes I feel like they don't even know the origins of
You
it.
have a festival out in Europe that's making millions of euros from the name right now.
Oh,
And yet still we are not using it. You have a festival called Bloodclart Festival.
I never even knew that.
All right. And they get 100,000 people every year.
That's crazy.
All right. That tells you.
They should pay.
We need to own our heritage and own our culture. Yep.
Listen, it has been a great conversation today. SK Vibemaker and Cham. You know what I'm saying? Big up, man.
Respect. And we didn't even talk about Liverpool and Arsenal. Think about that. That's for our next convo. Can you hear me? SK, the Vibe Maker. This a survival story. This a SK story. The Vibes Maker story. This a Babycham story. Hey, banging.
SK Vibemaker.